All right, so hopefully a super fast video just for those who are building my through wall vent. And I'm just going to show you how it goes together really quickly and hopefully address any questions you might have before you have them. But if you have any afterwards, just drop me a line and let me know. So basically this has come about because a lot of people ask me what I'm doing at the wall. My exhaust goes from my machines to the wall and then through the wall. This frame's going to go on the outside of the house. This piece is going to go on the wall of the house, and this is going to mount to it. This is going to have the flaps on it. And then you need some piping through the wall. So when I first posted this, it was way oversized. So I've reposted it. If you were an early downloader, re-download it. This one fits better. You can hear the fit. It's probably good enough. And there's a couple of lengths, and you could stop the print at a certain height if you want, just to get your custom length. And so basically that's your through wall piece. And so the one on the inside wall is this one, and it's exactly the same as the one on the outside wall. So you need two of those. And then we mount the fan to that. So the fan's going to sit onto that. And then on top of the fan, you have a manifold. And I've made quite a few different, well, I think 3 different manifolds. One for a single 2.5-inch line, one for a dual 2.5, and one for a 4-inch duct. So that's the concept. Super simple. I think it prints really easily, really well. And basically you print your frame. I've done everything in PETG, and PETG for me is fine because where mine goes, I have no sunlight. If you are in somewhere has sunlight on your wall there, you'll need to use ASA for some durability to it. And so as you can see, those flaps, they literally just flex in. Those are the outside ones. Probably should have done the inside ones first, but you can do them still. And you just flex them a little. And I just used color so I could see, because sometimes when you're looking through the outside, it's nice to be able to see what the inside flaps are doing. And so a little contrasting color there helps. And they just go in. Before I put the last one in, I will also say it's really beneficial if you just take a little bit of super fine. I'm using 400 grit wet dry paper here, and just go around that end of it just so it doesn't bind in the hole at all. I haven't used any kind of lubricant. I suppose you could use a dry lubricant in there. I wouldn't use a wet one for sure, but they're pretty good without lubricant. And I've sanded, just as I showed you, all of those, and you can see they're very, very loose. So as long as you've got some airflow, they're going to lift up. And so that's your assembled double walled flap. I don't know how you describe that. And that's going to go on the outside of the house. So you're going to cut a hole in your wall. You're going to screw this in with these holes. And then when that's on the wall, you're going to screw that on. And that's your outside done. Through the wall, this is going to cut through your insulation. And then on the inside wall, the other one, exact same. If you screw in the screws for the fan from the inside and create posts, as I've done here, I'm just going to do 2 because I don't really need to do, I'm not putting this on the wall, so I'm not really, but you'd put 4 of those in, check your fan direction, and then put this on those posts. Now when this is on the wall, so you're going to screw into your wall here with some anchors or whatever, depending on your wall construction. You're going to slide this on with 4 posts. That way you can take this on and off, replace the fan without disturbing the piece on your wall later. And so you just slide that on, and then onto that goes your manifold. And I'm just using, these are the screws, the bolts that came with the fan. So they're long, and you can just throw on the nuts then. And so sitting on your wall, you'll have this attached. I'm going to put both on because I'll show you the fan running. Okay, so that's your assembled wall side, and then put on one of my quick release heads here so you can run to wherever you're going, through here, onto here. And I'm just going to use a couple of wood screws to hold this on for a second so that I can demonstrate it. Okay, so that would be in the wall. And then it's not going to push too much of the, it's not going to lift the flaps up too much, but you'll see them lift as the fan turns on. And if you've watched my other videos, you know I'm a pretty big fan of the negative pressure in the exhaust. So what's going to happen is when I turn it on, you'll see these lifting up. And so they're now elevated. I'm not sure if the camera angle's the best. I would also put some sealant, like just some duct tape around the duct in the middle, and I've got an air gap here, so I'm not doing a perfect job of showing you this, but you get the idea. And so the more air that's coming through, so if I block it, you can see them dropping, and that's your air, your negative pressure in your exhaust line that's behind you, and they'll just lift whenever there's air to go out, and it works perfectly. And I have something like this for my air conditioning unit as well, where I'm just venting outside through a double wall flap, and it's been running for some time now very, very well. So that's it. If you don't get your, if you have some burrs or anything in there, you might find one of these flaps will stand up and stay up. That just means you need to pop it out and sand the little tits on the end of it a little bit, and put it back in, and you're good to go. So that's it. I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions or comments, let me know, and hopefully it works for you. Thanks.